Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to Crafting with Lola and Oscar. So we're going to make a couple of projects with some of the paper that you see here. Now the paper that you see here is from Anna Griffin's paper, a pad that, believe me you guys, I have been trying to find this pad forever. And I just have not been able to find it. It just is not in print anymore. So it's printed paper, and there's also that flock paper. I think that's what you call it, flock. So I'm just going to kind of fickle through it a little bit without, hopefully Oscar won't. And I think you get like 4 sheets or whatever, but it's quite lovely. But I just kind of want to show you the pattern. If you guys look at one of my videos, you'll see remember I made the card. It was like a card for a man. It wasn't a card, it was a memory book. Yeah, it was a memory book and a matching bag. It's on one of my videos. Go back and take a look at that. That's something I made with this paper. Now what happens is after you get done with that paper, there's that flock. Y'all remember, does anybody have a grandmama or grandparents or aunties, and you go to their house and you can if it wasn't for but if you don't be still, we gonna get down. You wanna get down? If it wasn't, I mean, you go to their house, right? And if they didn't have plastic on their sofa or wood on their walls, remember the paneling, the wood, Oscar, the wood paneling, then they would have this on their wall. You know, remember the wallpaper that had the flock as like velvet, or I don't know what you call this stuff. Let me sit him there, because he's wearing me out. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. There you go. Thank you. So this is that flock paper. So I'm trying to finish going through it real quick. So I'm going to provide you with the measurements of the card that we're going to be working on. So let me get back. Now look, little man. Little man, I'm talking to you. Yes. Mama's trying to video. What is it? Huh? Put your head down. You taking up the whole chair. Put your head down. Put your head down. And I have to do the one cheek thing while we're doing the video. So unfair to me. Okay, anyway. Crafting in my pajamas. All right, let's get on with this. All right, so let me give you, the card is gonna sit like this. Okay, it's gonna be one of these kind of cards, but I wanna give you all the measurements in case you want to cut this card yourself. So you need a card base, and if you want to screenshot this, you can screenshot this. And what I think I'll do is maybe hold it up like this. Alright, so you can screenshot that part. And I'll give it a few minutes. Okay? And then you can screenshot this part. Okay? Alright, so now let's put the card together. So I wanted to do again some black and white cards, but I wanted to make some really, I'm gonna do a Christmas theme, and I wanted to make some beautiful poinsettia flowers, of which I'm gonna show you. These are the flowers. Alright, so I'm going to show you these flowers that I've already cut out. I used a die, and again, that's all in the supply list. And then I used some pigment ink, which is in the supply list. Pigment ink already has the color in it. All you need is clear embossing powder. So I used some metallic silver pigment ink that was metallic. It says it on the container. I'm tongue-tied. All right, and then I use some of these little doodads here. Okay, so I've already cut out the poinsettias. Okay, and then there's another smaller one, but ain't nobody got no time for that small one. It actually is this small. It's this one right there, but I ain't gonna do that. Now, they do have little rivets on it. Now you probably won't. Let me see if you can see. Can you even see? Look at my fingers healing up. I know y'all like, Lola, I'm so tired of hearing about that finger. Yeah, so there are little veins in there. If you have an embossing folder, that tends to help make it better. Let me get my embossing powder out. And we're ready. And I'm just going to put this flower together. And then we're going to start working on the card. But I wanted to show you how I did it. Just in case there's somebody new that's wondering, what did she do? How did she make that flower? And let me hold one up so you can kind of see. Well, I use the glue. You know, sometimes you use that glue gun. You got all that stuff hanging off. So let me kind of show you what that looks like. Yeah, that's pretty, huh? All right. So, whoop. Oh, man, I am such a messy crafter. I am a messy crafter, y'all. I don't know about you. All right. Okay. So we just put this on like this. Now that may be an easier way, but this is the way we're doing it. Okay. Welcome to September. All right, and thank you guys for watching all my videos and liking the projects I've been making. All right, so we got 3 of them, right? We're not going to, again, this one I might put on the inside of the card somewhere. We ain't messing with that. That's too little, Chad. Nobody got no time for that. All right, close this up so you don't mess up. All right, so we're done with that. All right, I got it everywhere. Got my ink, my clear embossing powder. Now, you know, a lot of times if you want to juice up your clear embossing powder, put a little, and you want it to glitter, sparkle a little bit, just take some fine glitter and put it in your embossing powder. And that's what makes this has the glittery look, right? Because if not, it wouldn't have the glitter. It'd just be like embossed and boring. All right, stick this in here. Boom shakalaka. Jump in there. Get in there. Don't fight with me. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And the one thing about when you emboss, you have got to knock the additional stuff off, because if not, then it just something goes wrong. It just goes wrong. So just always kind of knock the extra stuff off if you can. There's always one. Get out. You know when you go to the pool in the summertime and they say, okay, break time, and they blow the little whistle and everything. There is always one clown. There's just always somebody that want to break the rules. That was that little flower right there. All right, now we are going to do this real quick. All right, now this one is going to take a minute to dry, so I'm not going to mess with it or try and use it. But there we go. That's how that is made. Okay. Okay, so here's the matte and mirror for the inside of the card. Okay. So I think what I will do is I think we'll do the outside first and then we'll go inside. Now, here is where I use those double-sided dies. Now, I'm going to tell you, it was not necessarily easy, because this was the mat for the front, which goes here. Okay, and oh, there's some tape. It's always tape. Sometimes Oscar walks around the house and I hear, oh, what the Sam places is that? And I'm like, what is going on? He didn't got stuck, tape is stuck to his foot, and he's walking around with all this crazy noise. Anyway, I have this all, no, I didn't secure this yet. I think I just got it temporarily, and that's fine. So this is the mat that would go to on the front, okay? Which in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, okay? And maybe I should, I wonder if y'all want me to, I hate repeating myself, but you know, maybe I will, you know what, I think I will. Let me just verbally tell you what these sizes are, even though I've given it to you a couple of times and screenshot it for you. So, the, Lord help me make sure, Okay, yeah, so the square, okay, the mirror is 5 3/4, okay, by 4 7/8, and then the mat, which is this part here, is 5 5/8 by 4 3/4. So that's that, okay. All right, so we'll put that down. We will put it down like this. You know, I'm not gonna glue the other piece to it, but I just want to glue this piece. I'll glue the bottom down just real briefly, because something may go down and I'm gonna have to take it apart. What am I doing this right? Yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay. I think so. Now, the most important thing, you know what I should have done? You know, I think I'm gonna wait. I think we're gonna wait on that part, because I want to make sure this is right. This piece goes down at the bottom here, right? And again, let me tell you what this piece, the border, the mirror is 8 1/8 by 7 7/8. Take that back. The mirror is 8 1/8 by 7/8. Okay, that's the shiny part. And then the mat, this right here, is 8 by 1/4, 3/4. Okay. All right. So I think I want to put this down first before I put that part down, because I just want to make sure it's even. This is the Anna Griffin paper, but I'm focusing on making some black and white cards. My next video, I'm going to do another really pretty black and white card. And I'm going to be using one of the Crafters Companion double-sided dies, which are really, really, really cool. All right, so I want to make sure I get that nice and even. And then I'll go ahead and put the other one down. What the sound blazes? Okay, move it over. That's what I love about this kind of paper. All right, so we have that there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and then we'll put the panels down. Now, I didn't put anything here because it's going to be folded and you won't even see it anyway. So for the sides, you'll need 2 pieces. The sides will go here, right? And then for the sides, you have your mirror card is 4 7/8 by 1 inch. And then the mat is 4 3/4 by 7/8. And these are just measurements that it took me a little minute to get this right. I ain't gonna lie. And it gives you a little teeny border of black around, just a little teeny bit. So we got the sides, we got the borders, and now I wanted to go ahead and put this part on, because it's messed up, because there's a little bit of, I want a little bit of a border there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and then just basically put this card together. I'll tell you, one of the challenging parts was trying to get and I don't know, y'all, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but you know when you're trying to cut through several mats and layers of something, like I did with this frame here, it's always such a challenge for me. And I don't know, and you know, cause you can't, sometimes what you have to do is cut through 2 and then put like something so that there's an imprint on the 3rd, and then you can kind of line the die up, or you can, you know, there's all kinds of little ways to do it, but it was a little challenge. I ain't gonna lie, it was a little challenge. So now I want to make sure that that is all lined up with this. And try not to get no glue on my paper. Let me do it like this. All right, so let's turn it around. So we have that looking like that. I like that. I like it. And I always like to make stuff with apertures. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I just like to do that. All right, so I think that's good. All right, so the next thing what I want to do is, what we would do is, I've cut this frame out, and these were just some nesting dies. I cut it out a couple of times to make it thick, you know, nice and thick. And a little bit also dimensional, and see, it's gonna stick right down in like that. But before I do that, what I want to do is I'm gonna turn this over. Now see how that kind of looks wonky, but I think it's all right. Here's my piece of acetate, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my acetate down. And I'm gonna put some acetate actually on this, but I'm gonna use red liner tape. And remember we talked about the red liner tape, which is this little tape like this, really good for acetate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. And eventually when I finish this card, I'm gonna clean this up inside somehow, I don't know. So you don't just see that acetate sticking like that. Not too sure what I'm gonna do, but I don't know. So as I'm crafting and talking at the same time, y'all, no, Lord, don't mess this up. I might not do this. Make sure I don't. I could have cut this wider. Ooh, I could have cut this wider. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's gonna cover it up. As I'm talking and crafting, as you guys know, I'm planning my trip to go to this place in Vermont. Okay, go to this place in Vermont called Dog Mountain. Google it; it's an amazing place. I came out on it by just Googling Vermont because I've always wanted to go to Vermont, and but the thing of it is, it's kind of cold right now. I don't know. I'm like, is this the best decision I made all year? This is too thin. Let's see if I got some thicker. But it's this place called Dog Mountain up in Vermont, and you know Vermont and Maine and all those places this time of year it's just absolutely beautiful. But you know it's getting cold now, child. I need some thicker tape. I need that real thick one. And this tape is not. This stuff is expensive. I don't care where you get it from. This is a little bit thicker. I ain't trying to put it on too later. But everywhere you go now, you know, you're going up in the what do you call it? The eastern shore, northeast. I guess you say that. The northeastern states. It's cold. So now, not only do I have to pack, you know, warm clothes, I gotta potentially pack cold clothes because ain't nobody trying to get messed up. I know, and let me tell you, honey, last night I was sitting up there watching. Amazon got some really, was that Amazon? I was watching this movie. I watched a couple of good movies last night. And I'm not like the movie girl, but I watched this one movie where the people, and it was a true story, but actually, you guys, both these movies, and one was called Wave, and that was about this mountain and a tsunami in Norway, which is actually really real. This really, really happened. And they know that at some point this is going to happen again. They just monitor it. And then this other movie was called, I don't know what it was called, and this happened, I guess, not too long, I don't know how long ago it was. But this woman and this man, they were on their way to, were they in Norway too? Wait a minute now. Maybe they were. I don't know. That's weird. But they were going to this book signing. So she was a writer. And she had to be pregnant. They finally kind of showed that again. And they got into what seemed like being an ice storm. Now I'm rambling, y'all, because I'm trying to do this little monotonous stuff right here. So they got into an ice storm. And they decided to pull over. I guess they decided to pull the car over because, you know, you can't drive in the dark in an ice storm. And they ended up falling asleep, and child, when they woke up, they were buried. They were basically buried alive under all that ice and snow. And they were there for literally 20, I think she was there, and he ended up dying in the car, which was sad. She ended up having the baby in the car, child, you know. She had the baby, and this was a true story. She had the baby in the car, and then he ended up dying. So can you imagine still being in the car with the dead body? I mean, but it wasn't like he was frozen, you know. So, but it was a really, really good movie. So my point is, well, we're gonna put this frame in here. My point is, I was like, you know what? No, we get ready to go to Vermont. And when I Google it, because you know, University of Google is the place to go. They say it can start snowing as soon as November, which I ain't trying to be up in no snow. but it can snow as early as October in Vermont. So I was like, oh Lord, please don't let that happen. But I'm gonna go on up there because I've been wanting to always go to Vermont. So I'm gonna do it, get in the car, go to Vermont. There's a beautiful, what do you call them things? Lighthouse? Yeah, I think that's what it's called, a lighthouse up in that area, and what those other states, because they all kind of, you know, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, they're all neighbors. They're like right next to each other. So I'm like, well, you know what, that'd be a good little road trip. And then I'm going to keep driving, and I'm not gonna tell you where else I'm going, but I'm definitely going to those to Vermont. So I've been getting the car ready and getting the dash cam and, you know, all that stuff that you gotta do when you get ready to drive, you know. But now, like I said, I gotta take summer clothes and I gotta take winter clothes, so that's gonna be kind of boring. All right, so we have the frame. Again, remember what I did was I cut it out twice to give it a nice, you know, just a nice depth to it, and we're gonna sit it down here and hope that everything go right, because it sure did when I had it down here temporarily. I like that. All right, so now we have our little window. Love that. I love it. What do you think? Da-da! And so that's the outside pretty much. So now what I want to do is we're going to decorate the outside. We're going to use that. We're going to do that last, but I want to go ahead. So we're going to put our flowers and we're going to do some other stuff on the outside. But now let's go ahead and move into the inside of the card. And I want to go ahead and put down my matted layers for the actual part that where you want to write. And eventually, like I said, I'll probably find something to cover this up, but we ain't doing that today. Okay? We ain't doing that today. It was hard enough for me to figure this out. You like, Lola, you really not that smart? No, I am not. Wait, I'll make sure this closes right. All right, so, ooh, look at that. Nice. I like it. We have the frame in. Now, I want to talk about what's going to go in here. So a little while ago, Crafter's Companion came out with these two sets of, they're called Christmas carols. And one is, they're paper inserts, like for a card. I'm going to show you in a minute. So one is called the Yuletide Hymns, like, I even heard that song, Holly Old St. Nicholas. I don't know what that is. But there's songs, and then you have your traditional carols. So what I did was I said, well, I want to put those into my cards. Now, see, it comes just like this. They come in cream and white. This one is the Holly and the Ivory. The Holly and the Ivory. We sung this in choir chair. Holly and the Ivory in high school, honey, not at the church house. The Holly and the Ivory. Holly and the Ivory. They're both full grown, all of the trees of the east. The holly bears the crown. Anyway, so I wanted to take this song because I'm going to be using the poinsettias, which kind of don't really look like holly and ivy, but you know, it's still a flower, you know what I'm saying? And I actually copied this on my copier, and I resized this on my copier to be only 80%. And that's trial and error, honey. That's trial and error. And I think, if I can remember, I will make sure that this information is in the narrative too. I think I took a picture of these. If not, I'll let you know if they're still. I got them off of HSN. Okay, so it's, you know, Old Town of Bethlehem, First Noel, you know, traditional carols, Cradle Hymn, Way in the Manger, you know. Yeah, so these are really, really cool. But I minimized that, or I made that 80%. And once I got it down to 80%, now it won't be on the pretty cardstock. Why can't I get, okay. It won't be on the pretty cardstock, but it was perfect. So what I did was I got it down to 80%, which you might not can read it now. I think you can. Let me hold up the camera. See how nice and small it is? Then I took the die and went around and then I cut. Okay? And so what I want to do is stick this little song right in this window, which is lovely, right? All right, so we have that there. lovely is that? Perfect. Okay. Sits up nicely. You better sit up nicely. Okay. It sits up nicely. All right. So, and then the last thing I want to do is over here. Now, you know, it's so funny because for some reason, I don't know, unbeknownst to me, I could have made this so much bigger. I don't know what I was thinking. But that's okay. So I have this, which is no big deal, just using nested dies. I use my mirror. You can see the mirror card, the pattern card, and white card, which, you know, you can write on. Here maybe is where this little deer can come into place, or he may go on the front, and then you could actually put this like that. You know, something like that. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go ahead and just stick this down temporarily so you know that would go on the inside. And you could put some flatter flowers or just make this bigger. You know, just make this whole thing bigger. Especially if you have like a bigger sentiment. Okay? That's up to you. Thank you guys for subscribing to Lola and Oscar. You could also do it this way. You know, that's an idea. You know, that's the thought. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. See how the card is going that way? We'll just do it that way, just temporarily. And again, I'm just putting it on tape. All right, so we have that there. And there's still a lot you can still do with this area here if you choose to do so. All right, so now the part of the decorate. What is happening? Okay, there we go. Decorating the outside of the card. All right, so we have all of our beautiful, beautiful flowers, which I've shown you. Now, the next thing what I want to show you is that, remember, I set out, and you'll see it on the supply list, I used some dies for some leaves and what do you call it? Shrubbery of, I don't know what you call this stuff. And I cut all this out because I want to add that to my flowers. And I used some of the dies from the Crafter's Companion Winter White collection. So that's what all these leaves and stuff are here from. So this is the dies here from the for the poinsettias, and then this is all the shrubbery. So if you're looking, where'd you get that from? Right here. Screenshot it. Make it happen. Okay. All right. So that's that. But again, it should be in your thingy-bob. Anyway. So here are these doodads. So I'm going to set these to the side because now what I want to do, now, and here's the thing with the deer. I keep going back to this deer, y'all. I said, well, you know, the deer, he's got a kind of promising career. I was going to sit him here, which I really do like that. I think that's quite lovely, right? And then I would take maybe one flower and put it here, and then one maybe like here. Now I have all the shrubbery, so I'm gonna, because I think too many flowers it might be, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but let's take a look at this. Now I do kind of want to use the glue gun, so I think I'm going to go ahead and hook up the glue gun because I want the flowers to be down permanently before I start sticking in all the jazz or the stuff like that. Okay. Now, I know it's a little shiny. And let me see if I can get the camera to go darker. Go dark. I don't know. Maybe that might help. So I think I am going to go ahead and hook up the glue gun. Out, and we're going to put these flowers on, and then we're going to put some of these beautiful little leaves and such on there, and kind of see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.